Pinterest browsing never works too well for me. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be getting booked, doing bookish things. It's been a bookish weekend with me. I don't know exactly what I'm calling this video because I don't know. The ultimate book video, like what do we call this? I have no clue, but we are going to be doing a lot of bookish things in this video. We are going to be reading a book, updating my reading journal, and going to the bookstore because there's no way I'm gonna do an ultimate book video without going to the bookstore. And we're also gonna come up with some conclusions as to how we're gonna stop this excessive book spending and starting maybe a book buying ban. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna start off by reading none other than One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This is the first book in the Shepherd King's duology and I've heard phenomenal things about it, so I'm really excited to start it. I don't really know much about the book at all. I did read another book by this author, The Night and the Moth, and I really enjoyed that one, so I am excited to get into this one. But with that being said, let's start reading. I'll update you guys in a little bit. I read 100 pages of One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This book follows a girl named Elspeth, and I really can't go too much into detail about this book, but the magic system is really easy to understand. There's like these playing cards and she can see the playing cards, but other people can't see them. Like they can see them when they have them, but she can see them like on someone's body. And these cards hold magic and they can give you different qualities. So like one of them is called the Maiden card and it will give you beauty. So these playing cards are something that are very highly coveted in this society. And people are trying to find them to stop this fog in the country. Blunder. It's called Blunder. I don't know if it's a country or a city or whatever the case might be, but it causes you sickness. They're trying to find these playing cards to stop this fog in this country town city. That's pretty much like the plot of the story. This is a romantasy book essentially, so there is a little bit of romance in it. I'm 100 pages in. The romance hasn't started yet, so I think I know who the guy is. I love like the gothic fantasy worlds. Obviously, like this would be the perfect book to read in the fall time. Like I'm just thinking like October, this book would be perfect to read. But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I really am liking it. I'm 100 pages in. I'm not that far, but let's get into reading One Dark Window. It's currently 8:30 p.m. the next day. It might not seem like it's the next day, but it is the next day. I do have the same PJs on because I'm a PJ repeater, and that's just the truth of the matter. I only seem to talk to you guys when it's nighttime, when it's time for me to go to sleep, but that's because I work all day and then I come home from work, I film short form content, and then by the time I'm done filming and editing that, it is bedtime. But updates on the book. So I did end up switching to my Kindle because this book is on Kindle Unlimited. 37% of the way through. I am really enjoying it so far. I don't have like too many thoughts on the story because I feel like I'm at a point in the book where the story is really starting to take off. Everything in the back of the book is kind of happening and we're just kind of moving straight into the story, and I'm really enjoying where things are going. I can see where the romance is going to take off, which honestly the romance is going to be one of my favorite tropes. This specific trope, which I don't want to spoil because I feel like I wouldn't have known what this trope was if I didn't read the book. Like there's no indication of the trope on the back of the book, and I feel like that might be a spoiler, but it is one of my favorite tropes of all time. Those are my updates and my thoughts. I'm enjoying the book a lot right now. I want to read some more of it tonight. When I ever want a romance fix, like if I'm ever in the mood for a romance, I pick up a romance book because a romance book is not going to do it like the way I want it to do. I want it to be done. Like I want the tension and the angst, and I want it to be slow burn, and I want to barely get the romance plot. And you only get that in a good fantasy book. This book, you don't get a lot of the romance. I just love that when it's like little slithers you're getting and you're just like you know, like that's how I feel right now. And I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I'm gonna get back to reading this. I'm actually talking to you guys and the sun is still up. Can you believe that? Like, Can you actually believe that? Because I have not filmed during the day in so long, it feels like, but I'm excited because it's 5:30 actually and the sun's still up, and I don't think the sun's gonna set for a couple hours, so we still have lots of time during our daytime to read. I have decided, at first I was coloring when I got home from work, but I was like, you know what, I'm really itching to get back into this book to know what's gonna transpire, so that's what I'm gonna do. I have 3.5 hours left of the book, so we're gonna see how much we get done. I don't know if I'm gonna finish this book today. I would really love to finish this book today, but I don't know. I have to be really locked in, and sometimes I'm not that locked in, but I am really interested to see where things are going because I feel like where I left off last night, things were really picking up and something big just happened for our characters, and I'm trying to figure out like how things are going to go from here because something big happened, but also something was revealed to us that was really big, and I just kind of want to know like where the story is going to take off and how we're going to wrap it up. I want to get a lot of reading done. I would love to finish the book today. I have 3.5 hours left. I think I have like 140-ish pages left because I think this book is 400 pages long. Yeah, let's get into the book. Let's get into reading. Hopefully we have a great reading experience today. I'm excited to see where the story is going. I haven't talked to you guys in a little bit, but I'm officially 100 pages out. I have 100 pages left of this book. I'm going to sit here and finish reading it. But since I have 100 pages left, I did want to give a little update. Everything that you think could possibly happen in this book is currently happening in this last 100 pages. Like, every time I read a fantasy book, it always like shocks me how much the author like just has going on in the last 100 pages. Like, it's like whiplash. Like, so much stuff is happening and I don't know where the story is going. Like, I don't know how the story is going to end. I have no theories. I don't even know if there's a plot twist in this book, but if there is, I don't know. I definitely don't see it coming. Actually, I do have a theory at what I do think is going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen for sure. I'm going to keep reading it. I want to just binge and finish the rest of this book today, so that's what the plan is. I'm on the last chapter. I'm genuinely confused right now. Like, genuinely confused. I don't know what's going on. As you saw in the last clip, I did finish One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. My thoughts are pretty conflicting on this book. I honestly have no idea what I'm thinking or about the story. I enjoyed it a lot and I thought it was a good fantasy story. I liked the magic system a lot. I think it's very interesting. I feel like a lot of people say that about this book, but the magic system is very interesting. You're dealing with these playing cards, and these playing cards have powers. So if you use one, then you will be able to use whatever power the playing card has. And I found that to be very interesting. Like, I think the magic system and the political system of this world is very interesting, and if that interests you at all, I highly recommend you reading it. However, I just feel like I didn't really connect to the story much, and I didn't really care for the characters at all. There were so many things happening, especially like the last half of the book. So much stuff happens, and while these things are happening, I was like, I should be feeling emotions for them, and I don't have that. And I don't know why. Like, I read another book by this author, which you already saw in my last reading vlog, which was mood reading for a week. I read The Night and the Moth and I really enjoyed it, so I was excited to go into this book because I was expecting like she writes gothic fantasy, so I was expecting that type of vibe once again, but I just couldn't really connect to this one that much. With that being said, I did enjoy it and I would recommend it. I decided to give it a 3.5 because there were some moments in this book that I really enjoyed, but there wasn't a lot of them that I enjoyed. The rest of them I was just kind of reading it just to say I was reading it, like just reading it to finish the book. It wasn't like I really wanted to finish it. Well, I did. I said that earlier. I was really curious to know what was going to happen next, but it wasn't to a point where like I was obsessed with it or I just couldn't put the book down. I could put the book down if I wanted to. I just kept reading it. So those are my thoughts. Not trying to bash the book at all. I think it's a good book. I wasn't all that connected to it. and that happens sometimes. It just happens. Now we're going to work on my reading journal. I already did my spread for January. I just have to do February's, and I already updated everything in my reading journal, so everything is pretty much up to date. I did get most of my inspiration from Rachel Catherine on YouTube. She has the prettiest book journal I've ever seen, and I love watching her videos of her flipping through it. And every year I'm like counting down to see at the end of the year her flip through of her previous reading journal for the year and then her starting her new one. With that being said, I decided to copy a lot of her spreads, so I'm giving her all the credit when it comes to that, because my reading journal looks like a worse version of hers because she just does her so greatly. I also get a lot of my inspo from Pinterest as well. I don't know any of those people on there, so they're just random people that I just save as a pen and then keep it pushing and use it for the month. Overall, my reading journal lacks originality because last year I tried and it was like more of a drawing one. Like I kind of drew a lot of the stuff out, and honestly, like I had my sister drawing a lot of the stuff out for me because I'm not good at drawing, and it just felt like it wasn't mine. So I decided this year to do the scrapbook approach of it, and I've been enjoying doing that a lot more because it's a lot easier and a lot less time consuming. The only thing you do is cut. Like you use scissors a lot, you're cutting most of the time, but I'm going to show you a flip through of my reading journal. Some of the things I use are all from Amazon, which I can link this stuff down below for you if you are looking to start a reading journal or start scrapbooking. This stuff has been really helpful for me, so I'm sure it'll be helpful for you. I keep my stuff in random containers, so I have this like faux coffee table book that I use. It has storage in it. I actually got this for like $5 from Target. I keep a lot of my stuff in here. Like I have these extra papers that are textured that I use sometimes. I also got these cool stickers that are different letters that are nice. And then I have some like little sheets of scrapbook paper. I never throw away scrapbook paper. Even if I cut it up, I always keep it. That's the whole point of the scrapbooking part, is that it's supposed to be scraps. Some of my non-negotiables for my reading journal are 100% these Crayola Super Tip markers. You can find these literally anywhere. I found them at Kroger, I found them at Walmart, I found them at Target, but you can find them literally anywhere. They're relatively inexpensive. These are the best ones for the reading journal because they do not bleed through. So I would highly recommend, if you want to do scrapbooking or reading journaling, anything where you're using a lot of paper that could bleed through, these markers are the best ones. And then also these Pigma Micron pens. I bought a whole pack of these because before I was using my G2 pens, and these just are not, I wouldn't recommend. Maybe if you're writing stuff out in it, but these ones are so much better because they're thicker. They have like a, I don't know what this type of marker is, but the ink is just more pigmented and you can use them to just like outline things or whatever. So I really like these as well. Another thing I invested in was this type of bag. I got some of these from Amazon. They are like Ziploc bags. Honestly, if you have a classroom, if you're a teacher and you have a classroom, these are really helpful for storing like games and stuff that the box might break on them. You can put these in there, and these ones are good for like a lot of loose leaf stuff, so highly recommend. I got this punch, which is essentially like, it makes the corners rounded for you, so you don't have to like cut and make a rounded edge. It will do it for you. I use it like every single time I use my reading journal. Like this is something that gets used, as well as glue sticks. And the best glue sticks I have ever used are these Scotch glue sticks. They dry quickly too. They're very nice. I did buy some of these, but I don't really recommend these. I bought a pack of 6 of these and I literally used them all up besides this one, which I think is almost all up, for like a couple spreads. So I just don't like them. They are mess free, so they are nice in that type of sense. But if I had to tell you to choose between, I would say to get the regular glue stick. Like it just works the best and they still dry pretty quickly. And then obviously I would recommend cardstock because sometimes it's nice to have some blank pages that aren't patterned, so I just get like large packs of cardstock. I have all of this stuff, like these little sheets that can be used. I also have these little things. These are like little, I don't even know what these are called, but they're like little cards, and I use them as frames for the book pictures. I think the main thing though, I think is the most important, is having scrapbook paper that you actually like and want to use. So I got these big sheets of scrapbook paper from Amazon, but I also think it's a good idea. What I've been doing, I print out little things that I think I would want in my spreads. If you have a library membership, a library card, you can typically print for free or for like very cheap. I think it might be like 25 cents or 10 cents, I don't know. Another thing is, if you work somewhere, you have access to a printer and your place of employment like lets you use the printer or whatever, I would utilize printing from work, because get your resources. Like I printed this at work because I think the colors are just brighter at the printer at work. And honestly, like, I mean, I work there and I'm here every single day. Like, I can print out my personal stuff if I want to, and I don't really care what anyone has to say. That is my reading journal supplies that I use. You guys are gonna see me work on this for a little bit. We have finished our February spread. If you were watching, you'd probably see me like moving the pages around, because honestly, I didn't know what I was doing, and I actually really do like the spread. I came up with it on my own. Can you even believe that? Anyway, this is the spread that we came up with. This is the February spread. I actually like this a lot more than the spread that I did for January. I'm proud of myself for this one. That's the reason why I would say I would highly recommend you doing, it depends. If you're really artistic and you like to draw, then I think doing this however way you want to is however way you want. But if you're not artistic or you don't like drawing, I genuinely feel like this takes so much less time to just cut out some stuff and glue it on and call it a day, because I like literally made this up. If I was drawing stuff, this would have turned out a lot worse, and I probably would have wanted to redo it. So I'm happy that I decided to go with this method, and honestly, look how thick it already is from just these 2 months. And my like intro spreads, it's already getting so thick, which I love. That is the updated reading journal. Hello, it's the next day, and now we're on to doing our last thing for this video, to have the fully complete bookish video, and that is going to none other than the bookstore. There's nothing I really want from the bookstore. Like, there's no books that I'm like thinking about getting, but I know once I get there, I'm probably going to get something. I'm planning on just browsing, but just browsing never works too well for me. We'll see what we end up picking up. But yeah, we're gonna go to the bookstore for a little bit, and then we'll come back home and I'll show you guys what I got. I'm back from the bookstore. As you saw, I was looking around, and honestly, there were so many books there that I really wanted to get. And I was just reading the backs of the books, and I was like, these stories sound so interesting. So I'm gonna try to save some of those in the back of my mind for the next time I go book shopping. But with that being said, I am also going on a book buying ban because I have been buying so many books lately, but I have not been reading them. So until I read at least 20 books off my physical TBR, that's kind of a lot. Okay, 15 books off my physical TBR, then I cannot go book shopping. And I feel like that's valid because I don't know how many books I have on my physical TBR, but it's getting out of control and I just don't want it to get too bad. And then I have 150 books that I have not read that are on my physical TBR that I'm trying to tackle. No shade to anyone who has that many books, but I'm just saying, I just don't want to, I don't want to do that. We're going to focus on the physical TBR, but I'm going to show you the books that I got. I got 2 books. And I haven't heard anyone talk about either of these books, so I'm actually really excited to read them and have my own thoughts on them without like preconceived notions, because I always go into a book knowing what someone else rated it or if they liked it, and sometimes I have just preconceived notions whether good or bad on the book. But sometimes it's nice to go into a book and no one else is talking about it. Not saying these books aren't popular, but I just haven't heard anyone talk about it. And the first one I got is Elsewhere by Gabriel Zevin. This is the author of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, but this book is actually a YA book. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a adult contemporary fiction book. I saw the cover and I was like, this cover is gorgeous. Like, you cannot tell me. This might be the best cover I've seen so far this year. I think it's gorgeous. I don't know exactly what the book is about, but I think you follow a girl who at the age of 15, she ends up aging backwards and then dying. I don't know, but I'm excited to read it nonetheless. I think the cover is gorgeous. I think the plot sounds interesting, and it's YA and relatively short, so I think it'll be a fun read. And then the second book I got, which is the last book I got, is The Days I Loved You Most by Amy Neff. This book intrigued me because I just saw it, and then so I just picked it up and then I read the summary, and it's about a couple. They have been together for a really long time. They have kids together until the wife is diagnosed with cancer, and the husband feels like he cannot live without her, so they are both going to end their lives in a year, which is crazy, and they have kids. And honestly, like, that premise alone was like, I really want to read this to see, like, I feel like this is gonna be a very emotional story and I'm excited to read it. I might end up reading these books sometime this week. I don't even know. They both sound so good. But with that being said, that was the last thing we were going to be doing together. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you liked spending a bookish time with me. I don't know exactly what the title of this video is gonna be, so bookish weekend day, whatever. Hope you guys enjoyed doing all things book related with me. If you guys would like to see more of these videos, please let me know in the comments. I think it'll be fun to do these like every month or every other month, to do some updates on reading and doing some book things and being just as bookish as possible always. So hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.